Namaste. Hi, everyone. This is Michelle, the plant-based yogi and ultimate weight loss educator. I will be helping you, assisting you, guiding you with you during this time and send my prayers and blessings to you, your family, your loved ones, perhaps in these challenging times of being isolated, maybe having a little cabin fever. Some of you that I've chatted with, you've even shared that you're enjoying this time of maybe going within, seeing what's important to you, spending more time with family, and connecting with those that you haven't kept that communication with, or reaching out to those that maybe we've lost um, that relationship. So, with that, also, some people are experiencing anxiety, stress, maybe even depression. And I can certainly relate, a lot of things that I had planned have come to a screeching halt. But I am here to share with you any techniques that I can as a certified yoga and fitness instructor, as well as whole food, plant-based ultimate weight loss educator, fitness, staying sane and healthy. And what we're going to focus on in this session is how to get a better night's sleep through yoga postures. So these are something that most of us can do without any equipment, without any props, and I'll offer modifications as much as I can. If you don't see a modification that is something that's available to you, please reach out to me. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can to assist you through this time and also help you get a better night's sleep. So with that, with yoga postures, our first yoga posture is called Hero's Pose. Now, some of this may be challenging for folks because it does require coming onto your hands and knees. If you have sensitive knees, you can use a towel, a blanket, or even roll a mat over a few times to put under your knees. This may be challenging for folks with knee issues or really being tight in your shins or your hips. So what you can do is also lift yourself up and put yourself on I have a block, sit on a block. That helps create a little bit more space if we're feeling tight, and especially in our hips, psoas muscles, or better known as our hip flexors for most of us. So this is Hero's Pose. You can lift up as high as you like. You can even add another block or pillows to come up higher, right? And this will help lengthen your spine, open up your hip flexor muscles. Wherever you are in this posture, you want to try to stay here for at least 20 seconds. All of these postures will be 20 seconds long, okay? So we're going to stay in Hero's Pose for 20 seconds. This at the same time is giving a little stretch of the muscles around the knees, lengthening your spine so we don't want to roll forward. We want to keep the spine straight. So 20 seconds here. Good. 3, 2, 1. Then same thing. We're coming to cat and cow on our hands and knees. If you, again, have sensitive knees, put the towel or blanket or anything, or roll your mat up underneath your knees. If you have sensitive wrists, you can roll your mat up or also take a pillow or blanket or towel to the place right at the base of the palm here to lift your wrist up a little bit, okay? So in cat and cow, we start in a tabletop position with the knees right underneath the hips, hands right underneath the shoulders. On our inhale, we're dropping our chest to the floor, we're stretching and lengthening our abdominals, giving our back a nice stretch, looking forward. And as we exhale, tucking our chin towards our chest, rounding our spine, trying to drop that tailbone down, getting some flexion and extension through the spine. This is a great stretch to do every day. Moving that spine, toning the body easily and gently. This is also something where you can put your hands on the table or a chair or even the wall and do it in a modified way. Just getting that dropping of your chest, lowering down to the floor, and the rounding of the spine, lifting up. So we're for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Then we're going to sit back into child's pose. Most of us know this one or have heard of it. Child's pose, Balasana. Bring your feet back, the knees right underneath the hips, and we're sinking back our bottom towards our heels. If you can bring your toes together, do so. And sitting back, stretching your arms out, bringing your forehead as close to the ground as you can or to the mat, tucking the chin towards the chest, and just letting your arms relax. Again, staying here for 20 seconds. You can always lift the head up a little bit more, keep your bottom up, bringing your head to something to help you lift. Just letting the body relax in this forward folding of sorts in Balasana, which is known as a very restorative posture because of the forward folding movement. Anything forward folding is very therapeutic and calming to the overall central nervous system. Okay, so you're doing that for 20 seconds. Our next one, we're going to come all the way down to the floor. All the way down to the floor. Our hands are right underneath our shoulders. Our elbows are close into the body. You have 2 options here called Cobra, Bhujangasana, or Upward Facing Dog. All right. So at the end of the day, sometimes I just like to do Cobra, which as you inhale, you're just lifting up. Your legs are stretched out. You're pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. You're pulling your shoulders, right? We don't want the shoulders to dip forward. Pull the shoulders back. Lift up. If you need to take breaks, you can come down again, right? You're going to hold here for 20 seconds. You're trying to open up the chest, the front body, right? Retract those shoulders down into your back. If you're going for that fuller version of upward facing dog, you're lifting up and lifting your thighs up off the mat or floor and pushing your chest forward. But again, this may be challenging at the end of the day. Certainly if we have tight hip flexors. This is also something we could still do at the wall. If I was at the wall and I had my hands about shoulder width apart, I'm keeping my elbows in and I'm pushing my chest forward and lifting my chin, sliding my shoulders down into my back body. Okay? So staying here 20 seconds as best you can or on the floor doing that. Here or here. All right, you can even have some assistance. You can always keep your thighs down on the mat or using level books if you can. Don't want uneven books or blocks if you happen to have them to help you lift. And sometimes I drop my knees, but I'm not letting my shoulders go up into my ears. I'm pulling them back, pushing my chest forward, trying to get into that place which is the least flexible portion of our spine, the thoracic area, the upper back area between the shoulder blades. All right, our next one is camel pose. So we're going to take that similar posture. It's a modified version of Ustrasana, which again is a heart opening. So if you need to sit on blocks, that's fine. But that first posture we did in the beginning, hero's pose, you're going to try to find that posture first. Okay? If you need the block, you can sit on it. Otherwise, sitting in hero's pose, we're just bringing the hands back as best you can. If you need them to rest on something, that's okay too. And you're trying to drop your head back. Now, some of you, this may be a little bit of, cause some difficulty or even nauseousness as you drop your head. If that feels uncomfortable, just push your shoulders down, but keep your chin slightly forward. Those of you may need to drop the head back or dropping your hands to the floor, chest reaching forward. Try to keep your gaze towards your nose and opening your chest. 20 seconds. That could be a long time. If you need to take some breaks, that's okay. Again, that could be a little challenging or quite challenging for some folks. So pushing the chest forward. 20 seconds you're going to stay there, okay? You're doing great. All right, this is all going to help for that better night's sleep. Then we have our twist. This is one of my favorites. So we're going to come all the way down to the floor. All the way down we go. And that just feels nice, right? If you want to put a pillow or blanket underneath your head, you can do so. Going to hug your knees into your chest. Just give them a little squeeze. Try to keep the tailbone on the ground. Notice if the hips come up. You want to try to lengthen the spine. And pull those knees down towards the chest. Hold in here for 20 seconds. Right? This should feel nice. You can let up on that a little bit. And then pull the knees down. Once you've held here for 20 seconds, we're dropping our knees as much as you can to the right. If you need to roll all the way onto your right side, that's fine. If your left shoulder comes up, that's okay too. But if you can rotate your left shoulder down, reaching your right arm out, maybe the back of the head comes to the mat, your gaze stays up towards the ceiling, and really trying to give your spine a twist, but also gently massaging those internal organs. You could crawl your knees up a little bit more towards your right arm and staying here 20 seconds on this side. 20 seconds. And this should feel really good. Actually, the more that we stay in the certain posture, the more that the body is going to open, release, and really come into the state of the pose where the benefits are. Therapeutic. Yoga therapy has been around for years. It may be called that fancy term now, but yoga is therapy. Therapy for the body and mind. As we complete our 20 seconds on this side, we're lifting our legs up, giving ourselves perhaps another little squeeze here, and letting those knees go on over to the other side. Dropping them over. Remember, you can roll all the way over. And again, if you need to put a pillow or a blanket underneath your head, do so. No problem. However, if you're able, try to drop your right shoulder down. Reach your left arm out as well. So the arm's in line with the shoulders. Crawl those knees up if you'd like, a little bit more towards your left arm. And keep the back of the head on the mat, right? Try not to move it from one side to the other. Just getting this more restorative, gentle. If you need to put a blanket or a towel underneath your knees for more comfort, if they're not coming down to the ground, you can do that as well. So just allowing yourself to enjoy the benefits of this twist, letting the spine release, letting the softening of the internal organs, a gentle massage of your gut, your digestive system, also allowing natural anti-inflammatory, letting the digestive organs relax here, giving them a little bit of extra assistance for your digestion. So moving any waste along, assisting with peristalsis in the digestion. So we want to keep healthy movement in all of our systems: circulatory system, lymphatic system, digestive system, elimination, waste, moving throughout the body. And once you've completed 20 seconds here, you're coming on back, pulling those knees into the chest, giving yourself another little hug. Good. And then just circle the knees in one direction. And circle those knees in the other direction. Good. I'm just going to check if I've missed anything here. Good. No. One other thing that's really nice to do. Feet about hips width apart. You can turn your toes out slightly, heels slightly in. Otherwise, keep the toes straight, arms down by your sides. And this is our bridge pose. So keep your knees together. If you happen to have blocks or a towel, you can put them between your legs. Otherwise, don't let your knees drop out to the sides though when you lift up. So we're tilting our hips slightly towards us, right? Towards my face or my chest. And then I'm going to roll through my spine as I lift my hips, ribs, and chest up, knees reaching forward, and holding here as best you can for 20 seconds. If you need some assistance, bring that block, towel, or pillow underneath you. And this could be more of a restorative bridge. Still getting the benefits of opening the front body, letting your psoas muscles get a nice gentle stretch, whether you're on the block or lifting up. Don't squeeze your bum too much. Of course, there's some activation there and also the hamstring glutes. But you want to keep those knees reaching forward. Don't let them drop out and you get lazy here. Tailbone, think of that base of your spine lengthening forward towards my knees for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Now, this one is not generally on my list of better sleep postures when I'm teaching classes because there's a set sequence that I've just shown you here. But if you like, as you pull those knees into the chest, you can open your knees wide. And some of you may take this modified child's pose, bringing, happy baby. We did child's pose earlier. Bringing your hands underneath your thighs, or reach your feet up to the sky and connect the hands to the feet, the ankles, the shins, or again, keeping them underneath the thighs. You can catch the outer blades of the feet or the inside arches, letting the tailbone drop and knees reaching gently out to the side, getting a nice stretch here or one that you're capable of. And once you've held there for about 20 seconds, pulling those knees gently into the chest, and then taking your resting posture, what's known as corpse pose. And you're going to take this through the rest of the night to have a wonderful, enjoyable sleep and getting up within 7 to 9 hours. So try to get those 7 to 9 hours, as most adults need, for the best restful sleep that's available to you. Staying here for 20 seconds, or maybe you're hopping into bed and letting that take you through the night. So that completes our sequence for a better night's sleep yoga postures, but also some other tips are trying to keep your turning off the technology. And I know that's challenging to do because sometimes I like to watch something that's a little funny. I like to end the day with laughter and inspiration. And sometimes that means being on technology. But if we can, trying to remember to power down as close as we can to an hour before we go to sleep would be best. Keep the room dark. So we don't want to fall asleep with lights on or even that blue light on our technology. You know, these are just little things to maybe try to work towards. Try to set some goals for yourself and stick to routines as well. If you're able to keep the temperature cooler in your room, studies do show that having a cooler temperature of 65, 68 degrees, I like it to be warm personally, but you can always dig yourself under those covers and add an extra layer of clothing if you like. So I hope that these postures are things that you will try, especially if you're experiencing some anxiety, stress, a little bit more heightened during this time of the coronavirus and staying indoors and being out of our typical routine for the past several weeks or month or so. So enjoy, please offer feedback. Happy to serve as your guide and assist you through this process. This is Yogi Michele. Namaste.